All right, we're recording. Good evening. Happy Monday, guys. I'm excited to be back with you. We haven't been together for a while, so I know that all of you guys had, I know how your holidays went because I've been talking to you since then, so I'm not even going to say I hope you had good holidays because I already know the answers. That's what I love about our team. I love how connected we are. I love how involved we are in one another's lives, so keep that up. It's awesome. Okay, let me pull up Google Chrome. Let me see. Let's do a screen share. All right. And I'm just going to leave it in this mode because it's a little easier for me to navigate and see. So tonight we're talking about the power of I am. If you haven't heard of I am statements, it's just I am and then follow that up with any sort of word. It could be an adjective to describe what you are. It could be a noun. You could say that I am I am I have abundance, or I am abundance. I am wealthy. You know, like you can change it up. It doesn't have to just be like I am beautiful. So we're going to get into that. We're also though going to get into how our ego likes to counteract that I am statement, and how I think tonight it's just really important for me to talk about this as we start the year off, because I think our mindsets as coaches are our biggest weapon, either for us or against us. So I want this year, I want your mindsets to be weapons for you that offer a fight whenever you encounter battles and hurdles and obstacles, because you will. That's the reality of this business. That's just the reality of life. You're gonna encounter obstacles and challenges along the way. I heard a great thing yesterday while I was at church that talked about the seasons of life that you go into, that there will always in church they were talking it in terms of the enemy and the devil and whatnot, but you could relate it in whatever faith base you are to just challenges, right? And to difficulties. But I think a lot of people think, yes, 2017, I'm here. This is going to be a good year because I wiped the slate and I'm going to start fresh and I won't have challenges. But I hate to break it to those people. They're going to be very disappointed, because challenges are always going to be there in seasons. And as you grow and get better, the challenges, they change and they look different, but they're still there. They still exist. So that's what we're going to dive into tonight. But before we talk that through, I just want to check out some things with January that are on the calendar with Beachbody, just making you aware of some things. Frankie, we're not doing this tonight. Things to know. So first and foremost, the Success Club trip. That is such a word teaser for me. The Success Club trip for 2018, they start enrollment this week for the elite coaches. I believe the very end of the month, they will be sending invitations out for when you're allowed to register. If you earned a certain amount, once they get through like the elite and then they get through like Success Club All-Stars and all of that stuff, then they'll get down to, they'll look at what Success Club points you accumulated in 2016, and then from there they will be sending invites for placement of when you can register. So if you do get that email and that invite, please guys really think about joining that Success Club trip. I've never been on one because I've always waited till too late to register, and I've always been on the waiting list. And guys, like when I say I'm on the waiting list, I get a monthly update. I am like number 11,642, and then like a month later they'll be like, you're 11,640, and I'm like, great, so you're saying there's a chance? No, there's no chance. I'm not going on any Success Club trip this year. I'm certain of that at this point. So I am making it a point that when that happens, that I'm going to get on it. There's an FAQ in your online office that talks all through that. There is, I believe, a $300 deposit. And then as you earn Success Club points throughout the year, as those accumulate, those will go as money, as dollars, trip dollars towards your trip. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Summit 2017 also. So if you are, guys, I have to be so honest with you right now. Frankie's chewing the crap out of my pants. Hold on. Frankie. So annoying. He's like chewing my pants, but like also my ankle, and it's starting to hurt. No. Okay. I'm pulling my feet up. for safety. Oh my gosh, this is the life. So Summit 2017, guys, Kaylee, she has already earned her first month. I'm actually going to shout this out a little earlier than I should because it says shout outs at the end, but she earned her first month Success Starter, which means she gets a call with Carl Deichler. I believe it's this week, right? On Thursday. And so she gets that call. It's super awesome. Anybody who earns Success Club in their very first month as a coach earns that opportunity. I, as a coach, did not earn Success Club in my first month, nor in my second month, maybe in my third month when I finally earned Success Club. And so it took me a while to get there. So that's really awesome. That's not an easy thing to do. So she is part of that elite group. But if she continues this trend, which she is totally on radar to do, if she gets to her third month, she'll earn a free ticket to Summit. Any coaches you guys add right now through April, can earn that free ticket to Summit, and then they close that opportunity off. I know Kayla already has her ticket to go with us, and we've talked with other coaches, but just keep that on your radar, guys, because prices will continue to go up as the year goes on, and as we're like still a little ways out because it's in July, so we're about 7 months out, it gives you plenty of time to plan and prep financially for that, and I would really love to get an Airbnb and get everybody together and just have an amazing, awesome time. So that's that. BOD All Access Challenge Pack is the promo for the month. It's that $199. They are probably not going to be giving the 140 challenge pack promos much longer. I know that they're carrying over the December ones still into January. So like Core de Force that was on sale last month, I believe 21 Day Fix and DFX was on sale too. Those are rolling over for the 140, but after that, once that's done, they'll probably not be giving the 140 deals anymore. So people can either buy a full price challenge pack or they can do the 199, which to me is where it's at. And if they're not interested in Shakeology, different strokes for different folks, there is the $99 all year fitness access too. So keep that in mind as you're talking to people. That is the only thing I'm offering people. I'm not even telling them to buy one program because honestly, that's a ripoff, right? I mean, it's more money up front, but in the long run, I'm ripping them off by not telling them of this opportunity. So that's all that I'm sharing with people. Team Cup registration starts on January 14th. I'll be putting more details on our page about that, but hopefully we can get a Team Inspire Beauty Team Cup together. And what Team Cup is, it's just a fun way to earn Success Club points and prizes and kind of be in like a smaller group together, really just like nose to the ground, just focusing in on Success Club and working on growing our businesses in that way. So we'll have more information on that, but that is coming up. Registration starts this week, and that'll start for February. Your prize for January Success Club, if you didn't hear, is a webinar with Rachel Cruz, who is Dave Ramsey's daughter. Dave Ramsey have a lot of his leadership books. He also has a lot of financial books out there. Really great person, great speaker, great leader, has a lot of insight, but this is his daughter. So you earn Success Club in January. You will be on a webinar with her. And then you'll also get $double for the cruise if you are, not cruise, the Success Club trip. It's the Hard Rock in Mexico, by the way. So that's pretty fun. And you'll get $double for that. And then Success Club shoutouts, guys, already at this point, what are we at? January 9th. I know Kaylee has Success Club points on the board. Charles has Success Club points on the board. I know Mary has Success Club points on the board. And Lori also has Success Club points on the board. Incredible, 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 incredible. If you're not on the board yet, there's still time. And there's time this month to be planning what you're going to be running challenge group wise, or if you're going to add people in to an upcoming challenge that I'm running. So just keep that in mind. There's still plenty of time for that. I am being brutally attacked by a dog tonight. Just keep swimming through it. All right, so let's dive into the content for tonight. It's honestly going to be pretty quick because most of it is just stuff that I'm kind of reminding you guys of, because I'm sure you already know this stuff, and it's just going to be like, oh, yeah, I get that. And so keep in mind that at the end, we're going to do an activity, and I'm going to bring you guys all back together for that. So if you don't have pen, paper near you, just make sure that at some point soon you grab that. So success and failure, they come from your words. And I always like to talk about success as a sidewalk, where success is at the end of it and failure is in the middle of it. That you must go through failure in order to get to success. You can't, a lot of people hit failure in the middle of the road like that, and then all of a sudden they say, wait a second, I must be going the wrong direction. And they hightail it around and they start going back where they came from because they think that success is the start. Failure is the start and success is the finish, but it doesn't work like that. You ultimately have to go through setbacks and failures in order to get to that success that you're looking for. There's so many things that I try and it didn't work. And you know what? I am that much better. I'm that much closer to my success. Another really interesting thing that I was reading the other day was something pertaining to people's ideas of when they have to make a plan for something. And you don't have to plan out how you're going to get to that success. You just have to plan out like today and how you're going to start towards it, right? And so starting yourself on that road, but it comes from your words. Your words are so powerful. So what kind of I ams are you speaking? In my personal opinion, Inspire Beauty's mission, and I hope you guys agree, is to help women see and fulfill, not just see, but also to fulfill their best, brightest, most shiny version of themselves, right? And it starts with who they are. It starts with who they see themselves as. You as coaches on Inspire Beauty, it starts with how you view yourself. If you're speaking I ams that are empowering and are lifting you higher and building your confidence, then ultimately that's going to show to people who are following you. And then all of a sudden they want to know what's different about her. What is she got that I need, right? And that's when you start building these followers that you know that you're on the road to something pretty stinking cool, because you are just shining for everyone to see. But it starts with the way you speak to yourself. And so yesterday we did an activity in our challenge group, and some of you guys are in the group, and so you saw and you participated in it. So thank you for that. But we did an activity last night that before we started, like today was the official day one, before we started, we said what we were. I am and what I am, like what I'm going to be for the next 3-4 weeks of this challenge. And people said, I am wonderfully made. I am strong. I am capable. I'm empowered. Somebody said, I'm a super mom. I'm ready. That one was really cool. I'm ready. I said, I'm beautiful. I am awesome. Somebody said, so really cool things, but it just made me think to myself today, wonder if they ever would have said that to themselves before they jumped into their workout today, between last night and like jumping that hurdle, that threshold into day one of our workouts, right? Would they have ever said that over themselves? Would they have ever spoken those amazing words to themselves? Chances are probably not. And more often than not, we're the ones giving them those words as coaches. But as coaches, and this is kind of like my teacher philosophy, is that the next level is to teach them how to do and duplicate what you do. And so if you're able to speak those words over them, eventually we want them to speak those words over themselves and not have to come to you necessarily for you to pick them up off the ground. But it starts with you. It starts with your I ams, because if you aren't, and we're reading this right now in The Gifts of Imperfection about love, and like, can you really love others if you don't love yourself? And that's an interesting conversation. It's definitely up for opinion, right? And I'm sure there's a million aspects and angles you could take it with that you could agree on, right? But it starts with that self-love. Because if they see that it's genuine and it's true and it's real and it's raw in you, they're going to start believing that they're capable of doing it too. So it starts with us with that. Words, guys, have creative power. It's incredible. When you start speaking words of positive connotation, right? Those words have power over you. Think about the person that's like, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, I'm so this. They probably really, like, over time are really believing that, right? It's kind of like electricity, how powerful words are. So electricity, guys, is it's beneficial in amazing ways. Think about it. Light, we can cook with it. We warm and cool our homes with it. We can get down the road with it. Right now we're having a freaking Zoom meeting across the nation with it. Like, electricity has some pretty awesome power when it's used in a positive way. Right? But if all of a sudden I took that power and I used it in a non-positive sense, right? Like if a wire was broken and I went to grab it, or getting struck by lightning or anything like that, right? I could immediately hurt myself, and it could be very, very dangerous. Your words are the same way. Your words can either be building you up, benefiting you, or they're tearing you down and destroying you. And I personally believe that there is no in between, that there's no sitting here on the edge of both. No, you're either bringing yourself up or you're tearing yourself down. And so tonight, my goal is to get you in a mindset to start 2017, to start hearing that. I posted today in the group about the mute button. Raise your hands if you guys saw that post today. Yeah. So our mute button, guys, it's crazy because we have this voice that's going on in our head, and we'll talk about that voice in a second, but you have that voice that sometimes that self-doubt, and it's tearing you down. You know, there are days when I wake up and I don't feel pretty, and I don't feel worthy, and I don't feel like I'm enough, and I don't feel like the work I did mattered. And those are, as I say those, you're probably like, wow, that, like, it probably breaks your heart a little to hear me say that, because we all know how hard we all work, right? And so if any one of you said that to me, like, Brittany, I don't think I'm working hard enough, it would break my heart, because I think we all work so hard. But the truth is, you wake up with those voices sometimes going through your head. And some days it's really difficult to mute them, to like turn them off. And some days it's easier to. You can just mute it, you go about your business, you find ways to go around it. But the trick is you have to be aware of it. And so that is my goal tonight, is to kind of bring an awareness to the way we're speaking to ourselves this year. So speak to yourself with words you would offer to others. Julianne, when she had our Zoom the other week before Christmas, she started with that whole, like, excuse me, that whole, you know, I'm fat. Why would you wear those pants? Those pants are so ugly. And she's like, you know who said that to me? Me. And like our jaws hit the ground when we heard her say that, because it was like, what? Like, I can't believe somebody would speak to you like that. It was her. She was speaking to herself like that. And I think as women especially, we have a tendency of doing that, of speaking words to ourselves that we would never, ever say out loud to somebody else, unless maybe we're like in a really heated moment, right? But seriously, like, the way we speak to ourselves, I wouldn't tell any of you guys some of the things I say to myself. And so we are our biggest fans at times, but we're also our toughest critics. Guys, words are like seeds. What you speak, you're going to give life to. So like I said, you're either giving life to a positive lifestyle and a better you, a shinier, brighter, more beautiful you, or you're giving life to a dull, negative, dreary, can't mentality you. There's no in between. You're fostering one or the other, okay? So let's check out a virus scan. So we know, like, when we scan a computer for a virus, right? We're trying to look for the errors. And obviously, like, when you think about your computer or your phone, because, excuse me, we're so in tune with how our technology works. Like, if my TV's not working properly, or my phone's not working properly, or my computer's not working properly, I'm really in tune with that. And I think most of us are in a connected society like we are. And so we know, oh my gosh, guys, my computer, it's not good. I need to scan for viruses. In fact, I keep getting a pop-up that I have way too much, my storage is full, right? I've got way too much stuff going on my computer. And so today I was like, you know what? I need to just clear the desktop. And so I went and I deleted a bunch of stuff, and I made some new folders and organized it and put a new background on my desktop. And it was awesome. And it felt so good. And I was in tune with that, with my computer. But we have to be that same way with our own bodies, with our own selves, with our own beings. When something is off, we have to be able to see it and react and know how to fix it before it takes us over. I used to have a very bad habit of not knowing when things were off and just keep going and going and going, because that's what I did. And it drove me into the ground. It really did. And now, the last 2 weeks of the holidays, I mean, I wasn't doing well. I was pushing and pushing in the holidays and cooking everything and cookies and this and that, and make sure the challenge groups are running in our free group that we had. And, you know, make sure that everybody's family is taken care of, because Charles was busy with all of the Vanguard stuff, and his mom was here, and my dad was there, my brother was down there, and then we had our dogs. And it was just like, it was the weight of the world for me. And so I got to this last weekend, and I basically had to just shut down with a lot of things. I had to tell a lot of people, no, I'm sorry, or hey, can I call you in 2 hours because I need a moment, or whatever. I had responsibilities that I had to tend to, but I also had to know that I had to scan my body for that virus, right? And so there are lots of ways that we can get in the way of our own selves, right? So one of the ways, guys, is limiting beliefs. Having those limiting beliefs. And this isn't, I don't say any of these. I want you to know right now, these are valid things that all of us experience in our own way. And so it doesn't make you a bad person for having limiting beliefs or fears or whatever. It doesn't. It just means that's the battle you've got to fight, and that's the virus you have to be able to scan for, if that makes sense. So for example, limiting beliefs. I believed when I was growing up that money was always going to be a problem. And that's not necessarily true. What are your limiting beliefs, right? And I encourage you to kind of dive in this week and search that for yourself. What are some things that you're telling yourself, this is the cap, this is where it stops, this is all as far as I can get, right? When I was a performer, I had limiting beliefs about the groups I could be a part of or the placements I could ever get, because I had never been better than that, right? And so that's all I thought I could do until maybe the next level came, and then the next level. But a lot of times people limit what they're actually capable of by themselves, not because anybody else told them, but simply because they've been telling themselves their whole life that this is the end, this is where they can go. What fears do you have that are maybe getting the best of you? And where can you attack them? I love when people say that when you get nervous or you get fearful about something, that's the time to do it. When Saturday, Julianne spoke Saturday at our Super Saturday event, and she's the 56th coach in the network, guys. Like, she's one of the top freaking coaches. Like, and then I had to speak after her. And all I could feel was my heart pounding so bad. Like, what do you have to say, Brittany? Like, who are you? Who cares? You know? And I had to slap that fear in the face and just talk, because I am somebody and I do have something to say. And maybe I'm not number 56 and maybe I'm number 500,000. I don't care what number I am. I have a mission and a passion, and I have a team of people that I love and clients that I work with that I love, and I love what I do when I wake up in the morning. And so I have to slap those fears away and embrace them and just go through it, right? Go through those failures or fears on your way to success. Maybe you have old traumas. They had breakup, a family member that passed for a certain reason. Ow! Hold on, I'm opening up chat. Thanks. Yes, I know, it was scary. Maybe you have old traumas like, ow, Frankie. I was saying diseases, illnesses in the family, deaths, maybe any sort of old trauma that you can think of. And trauma could be like, I'm making big traumas. I'm making like ER-sized traumas. It could be a trauma like when I was in 5th grade, my teacher told me I was too sensitive. And that stuck with me my whole life, that I'm too sensitive. And you know what? Sensitive isn't a bad thing. I am actually happy that I'm sensitive, because that makes me in tune with other people. And I feel like I can get on people's level with them when they're going through things, because I am a sensitive being. It also allows me to be able to scan myself pretty quickly, because I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And so it's not easy for me to hide my own emotions and my own sensitivity from myself. So old traumas, think of those, anything somebody said to you that like has stuck with you for a long time, those could be traumas. New traumas, maybe there's something you're going through right now is very fresh with you, or recently happened, thinking through those and not allowing those to take over your life. Any habits you have that are in the way of being the best you. My favorite is like when a nurse smokes. It's like, really? Like, you're a nurse, you're smoking, like that doesn't make sense. But like, right, like there might be habits that you have that, you know, like you just, that's what you do, but it's in the way, and maybe it's time to really seek guidance to see if that habit is still serving you the way that you once thought it did. And false programming. I love this one because this is me. I make up lies in my head. Hold on, hold this thought. I call them false truths. Sorry, I had to get my old planner. I call them false truths. And this summer, my therapist told me that I needed to start writing them down when they happened. And like, I would have to like hear it. And a lot of times Charles would have to tell me, Brittany, that's a false truth. That's not really true. Like, you believe that to be true, but when you say it, I don't think that's true. And so I'm going to read you a couple, because I'm going to be vulnerable right now and just let you know some things that I, this summer, really believed to be true for a long time. I believed that I give everything to people, so they should give their everything back. And that's a lie. I believe that I do give people a big part of my heart, but it's a lie to tell myself that they have to give back what I give them, like eye for an eye and equal. And so that was hard for me. When people weren't giving back what I was giving to them, I was hurt. And so I had to work through that. I believed that if somebody on Inspire Beauty failed, I failed. That if they failed, it was my failure, and that I was the one who should be upset about it. I believed that if I wasn't a diamond rank, that I wasn't successful in Beachbody. And I also believed that I was unloved by my family. And like, I'm getting emotional as I say these because it's crazy, because for my whole life, or for a big duration of time, I've believed these things. And I guarantee that you guys have some of those too, those false truths, false programming, things that you've allowed yourself to believe for whatever reason. Somewhere down the road, you held on to this thought, this idea, and you created it into a truth for yourself. Whereas if maybe you told it to a friend, a really close friend, or somebody that you could really trust with this kind of information, they'd probably be like, no, girl, that's actually not true at all. And so it's important that you start recognizing, where are some areas in my life that I've maybe created something to be true that's not actually all that true. Okay, now for our exercise. So on a piece of paper right now, guys, I want you to divide it in half. And then like down the middle. Vertically in half. We're gonna go hot dog style. This is Mystic Millen come back out. On one side of your paper, write I am, nice and big. And then on the other side, you can just, you can write counter emotion, or you can leave it blank, whatever you want. Stay with free, I'm cheap. Okay. We're gonna, and I'm just gonna tell you exactly what we're gonna do, and then I'm gonna give you some quiet time on your own to do it. Okay, so you're gonna write an I am statement, okay? And I don't want you to think. I'm gonna set the timer for 2 minutes, and I want you to, like, seriously, I want you to fill like the whole side in those 2 minutes. Like, that's your goal. I want you to just pour out I ams until you're blue in the face. Nothing on the counter emotion side, nothing. I want you to just think I ams. Don't start yet, don't start yet. Okay, so you're gonna write like, I am a good cook, I am beautiful, all those good things, okay? I'm gonna set the timer and go. And if it pops in your head, you write it down. That's the rule. One more, last one. Once you write the last one, that's it. Okay. I didn't fill my page. My wrist was like gonna fall off, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like panicking. Anybody else? Oh my gosh. So first of all, raise of hands, did everybody write I am messages that were all positive on their left side? All positive. Cool. That I forgot to mention that, so I'm glad you guys stuck with the positive. Because I'm sure at some point as you were writing, did any of you experience as you started to write something that another voice kicked in and started to counter that with something? Did anybody experience that at all? Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you an example of some counter. Your ego is always going to throw roadblocks in, guys. That's natural. It's so natural. So being aware of that. But for example, I am a good cook. A thing I like to tell myself sometimes, I'm a really good cook. I know that. But I like to tell myself that you use other people's recipes a lot, and maybe I should try creating my own. And that's pretty harsh because I do use a lot of recipes I find online, but that's what they're there for. And so, but this voice likes to block the fact that I am a good cook. So I have to shut that voice up or mute it or turn the volume down and let them know that I am a good cook, because I am. I'm beautiful, but then there's times that I wake up in the morning and my hair just doesn't sit right, or my nails, I haven't painted them in years and they never grow long because of color guard and it sucks. Or maybe I'm just bloated and I don't like the way my body looks today. Whatever it could be, I could pick apart my body in any way, shape, and form and tell myself it looks terrible. And that's that counter emotion. It's my ego coming in to try to destroy what I'm valuing of myself, right? So what I want you to do now is I want you to go through and I want you to read each of to yourself. I'm going to give you another couple minutes. And I really hope it says we have 5 minutes. Okay, cool. I'm going to give you 2. So you might not get through all of them. And that's okay, because you can continue this on your own. But I'm going to give us 2 more minutes. And next to each thing that you wrote, I want you to think of, like, if something pops up right away, that's a counter emotion that's pulling you down, I want you to write that down. If you read it and nothing pops up, then you can move on to the next one. Okay. So take 2 minutes now and go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm going to pause this. There's only 20 seconds left of the clock anyway, but I'm watching our remaining meeting time clock too, and I don't want to run out of time. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to read you a couple of my honest counter emotions so that you can just hear, like, this is what's going on in my brain, just like I'm sure with you too. So I wrote, one of my first I ams was, I am loved. My counter emotion immediately was not by your family. And I told you guys earlier that that's a false truth. And it's something I got to work on all the time. It's not something that just goes away just because you realize it's not that true, right? There's a lot buried with that. I am beautiful. I put sometimes. I skipped I am incredible. I couldn't think of anything to counter that one. I am a good person. I put you haven't always been. I like to tear myself down for when I wasn't such a good person, instead of building myself up for being a better person now. I put I am stylish, and I, again, did not have a counter one for that. I am a friend. I put, Brittany, you're a terrible friend, which, like, what? Like, okay. I put I am a child of God, and I said, is God even there? I'm a good cook. I didn't even write on that one because we already talked through that. I am faith. I put only when you open your Bible, which is not true. I am free. I didn't have anything for that. I'm creative. You get stuck a lot. Yep, I do get stuck a lot in my creative thoughts. I am a leader. I put are you. I'm a badass. I left that one. That was pretty good. I am a great coach. And then I put but people quit. So, and that's where I stopped. So you can see, guys, that it happens, right? And I'm going to like ramble really fast through the remaining thoughts, but your I ams are so important because the more, so this paper that you have, you can finish out on your own, and you could even journal more of this for yourself, you guys. I encourage you to do that. But what you need to do is you need to get rid of that counter emotion side. And the way you get rid of it is by hearing it. Making it, putting it on paper, seeing how stupid it is, maybe even telling somebody that you trust with it, and letting that go and slowly working through that. But then maybe taking this and putting this in a more important place, and then throwing the rest of this paper out, right? Cutting it in half and crumbling up, setting on fire the counter emotions, right? Because your IAMs will change, guys. They will change fear into love, negatives into positives, judgment into compassion, and failures, guys, this year into success for you. So I hope that helped. I hope this exercise helped. I hope you continue it. I know I'm rushing really fast. I wanted to give time to chat with each other, but I don't think I'm going to, and I don't want it to get cut off. But I love you all. Thank you for being on, and we can continue this conversation either one-on-one or in Inspire Beauty together. Okay, guys? All right. Have a good night, guys. I'm gonna stop it so that I don't lose out. Bye, everybody.